Towers of Doom is our first map in the winner bracket semi-final. We're still in the Underdog Cup, another best of 3 series coming up. Heroes can only be played once in this. And we got Rum and Ehre against Naki Wien. So, let's go. Map number 1. Should be a fun one. Naki Wien had some pretty interesting strategies. And was specifically fond of bigger maps from the looks of it to try and play the macro game. So, a little bit curious to see how the blue team is going to react to this. It was actually kind of funny. The first series that the blue team was playing was against the Donation Squad, who came who just tried backdooring for 2 maps with different team compositions, and it was glorious. Like, these guys really put thought into what can we use to backdoor at all cost, and came up with some pretty fun stuff. If it was the most useful ideas, that is to be debated, but it was really entertaining. And the downside was that the blue team reacted really well to it, so it's pretty difficult to judge their power level just based off that. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. The name, by the way, is a little bit of a twist. Ruhm and Ehre is the normal term, which is like some, it's basically like for fame and honor. More like of military background stuff and other things, and then they put a twist on this and just basically like change the wording slightly. If you just change the writing, they turn it into rum, like rum, and Ehre is also from like, actually don't even know how to translate this, like from corn and stuff, so you can make alcohol out of this too. That's why I already said in the previous series where they played, you could call them the Alki Squad or something. They're definitely having a little bit of a fondness in that direction from the looks of it. But I highly endorse the rum affinity. I told the story the other day about... Ooh, I still have to write that down. The story about the bar where I was at. We just got some food, and then he gave me... like a free shot at the end with from Granada, some rum with honey, and it was just incredible. I still have to look that up to make sure that I can somehow get that there. 100% you can order that online here somewhere. But we get Sylvanas as our first pick, a little bit of a focus on... Blue team definitely watched the previous series. They see what's happening, or they saw what's happening with Naki Wien on Sky Temple in the previous match, and they immediately ban out the globals. And just say, you know what, boys, how about we're banning out all of the macro heroes for now. And, yeah. Inuburak, so you have still a bit of dive possible after Jojo and Anduin were taken on the right side of the map. Okay. And there's the Ophia pick. Okay, so Sylvanas and Ophia is going to be our tag team for the damage on the blue team side. Yeah, and on, well, on the other hand, with the Jojo and Anduin start into the draft, we have Team Blondie shaping up over here. So you have your Blessed Shields done, and then the potential follow-up with another Light Bomb play. Final bans coming in. Keep in mind, heroes can only be played once per series. Could have an impact here too. Sonya is eliminated. So no Inuburak dive with a Sonya leap as a follow-up. There's still a couple of globals that you could technically play. I mean, like globals, you could... okay, heroes with more global mobility. I still want to see a proper Illidan play at any level. I want to see Samuro. We have already seen some plays with Abathar. You could try and leverage that as well. I don't know if any of the teams have a Vikings player, but that's another option that you, of course, have if you're trying to go down that path. But, well, let's have a look. With Towers of Doom, we're getting our next double pick. And here comes Li Ming and Leoki. Okay, the janitor is in the house. Li Ming for potential resets. Going up against the Inuburak, meaning that we will likely see disintegrate. So that you can burn the cocoon down quickly. That's always a cooldown win if you go for it. And it seems to be the likely choice here for them. Ana, nano boost for... or for Malthael, depending on what ulti goes for. So, yep, here we are. Double front line with the Inuburak Malthael. Ana for them heals. And then, last but not least, what's the snack gonna play? Towers of Doom is the first map. Again, it's the winner bracket semi-final. The loser will still have another chance in the lower bracket. But Naki Wien, what is their added to. We go triple frontline with this, or just another damage dealer? And the answer is we're going damage. We're going Vala. And that brings us straight to game number 1. Let's go. The winner bracket semifinal and map number 1, Towers of Doom, kicks us off with the blue team on the left playing Malthael on Kazim on a Pale Horse on level 1, Vasimir on Anna, Sergeant Johnny on Sylvanas, we got Serena on Ophia, and Sergeant Hader is playing a Nubarak. Over on the right side, we got Nakivin playing with TT on Liming, Lazamehu with Anduin, Olorox on Joanna. We got Slithery Snack on Vala, and then Simba coming in last with Leoric. So, let the games begin. Let's see which team is able to take the lead in this series and then advance to the winner bracket final. Ophia, still with a choice all over there. We got on level 1, by the way, Power Hungry for Li Ming. All about the globes for now, so already a bit of an adjustment being made here. Auto attack style for Vala. This is one of those situations where you don't have a double support, you don't have a triple front line, there's no mid-D for anything here. So Vala is essentially allowed to lose her life a few times. So if Vala dies a couple of times, they're still going to be totally fine here. It's not going to be too big of a deal. We're having over on the left side, camps claimed quickly. Obviously you still want to stack a lot. I mean, if you die a few times and you lose some of that auto attack speed, that's one thing, but as a result, you normally want to at least be able to move in and say, hey, we're gonna get some stacks and therefore some quest rewards on the level 1 talent. And Vala is a pretty target-rich environment here with the Nubarak saying hi the entire time. Gets a nice double stun off, but Vala immediately back. Sylvanas is also there, but one hit after another coming in from the Cowgirl. Jojo up at the front, first of the pumpkins already taken down. And Nubarak with an interesting dive. Maybe a little bit too short. He got scared midway. You know, Nubarak has a couple of confidence problems apparently, so he wanted to go in for the big attack, and then midway through he realized that he's not quite confident enough to make that play and retreated. Nearly got killed too by that arrow that came in from Vala. Had his W still up and used that, or that could have been a problem. So, well, we still have Leo sitting all the way up at the top. So, Simba is going to try and clean this one up, as Vala is by now sitting on 33 stacks. There's obviously a lot of rotational plays going on between the side laners as they're moving from the middle towards the top. And that 4-man at the bot lane has been pretty consistent. It's just trying to push this. With level 4, we now get Neil Peasants. So, Leoric is already getting a little bit cocky over here. For a good reason. Yeah, Jojo at the front, and Vala again, not stunned, dodging that. Nubarak, you gotta be a little bit careful. They got Rum in the team name, and I think they might have celebrated with a little bit of it after their first victory today, because Nubarak has been missing quite a few of those moves that he's been making. So I'm not quite sure if he's seeing double or what the problem is. Sleep Dart success from Anna. She's at least on point with the connects, but they were still not able to follow up on it and get a kill. Quest number 1 reward is nearly in for Vala. So that's the good news here. Vala is soon going to get some extra damage on it. Anna with no level 4 talent still. And talking about level 4 talents, Triumvirate is in. Leo is channeling up at the top, and the rest of the team is making plays at the bottom of the map as we, as usual, go straight in for the 3rd altar. Yeah, Nubarak. Vala completes the quest. Nice! Quest completed for Jojo. That's big. That is huge. So she's able to get that done, and this is a huge slow now. 80% slow, so massive utility. The problem is that the fight that breaks out afterwards goes against them, with Malthael also saying hello, so this quickly turned into a 5 versus 4 that allows the blue team now to pick up the altar and the extra shots and also lock 2 kills in. But, that being said, Jojo completing that quest is a really nice step into the right direction for them for previous team fights. And it's obviously also done very early in the game, which makes things even better. But they have to still make sure that they are bridging that little gap that now exists between the two teams. Ophia on level 7 with a Mind Devourer. We have 64 stacks now for Vala. And yeah, Leo still rotating. But Anubarak, he already is looking for another target. Jojo figured it out, but there's the connect on Vala. Oh, and she nearly died. Good on Anduin. Yeah, Anduin doing well here. Vala was also just sitting there for just a second. I'm not quite sure what exactly happened, but it looked like she was attacking a beetle. Maybe a bit of a misclick. Didn't see it and accidentally right-clicked it. Like, I'm not quite sure what exactly went on, but it just felt like the snack was a bit slow with the reaction time. Anna is trailing one talent pick the entire time here. And I don't know why. Debilitating dart now in on level 4, but she's waiting the entire time. I assume that this is going to change once that level 10 is available. Oh, careful. Vala. Vala is becoming very quickly the main target. And I mean for good reason. You obviously want to reduce the attack speed that she has. She's also hyper-aggressive with those vaults. Vaulting forward. This is something, this doesn't really do anything for you. This just exposes you to a potential kill. Because what has that now done? It depletes her mana pool. It puts her abilities on cooldown. And how much damage does she get from that one multi-shot volley that she shoots out? Very little. In this case, she's down, so Vala gets destroyed. That's the first 5% attack speed gone. But plays like the one that we've just seen, again, I would highly recommend to not do that. It's just too easy for an opponent to anticipate that after a while and turn against you, get a quick stun and kill, and it doesn't really do a whole lot for you in the first place. So by now we got Nano Boost in. We also have Tormented Souls. I already talked about this as a possibility during the draft, because again, once that Ana appears, Malthael with Tormented Souls can really do work. In addition, we get Crushing Jaws for Orphea, and we have Cocoon, which very likely is going to force Disintegrate on the side of Li Ming, who's going to attempt to burn that down. We don't have level 10 abilities yet, but they're close. Just working on the minion wave here for the experience, and there's 10. Disintegrate gets chosen. Blessed Shield. Rain of Vengeance. We got the Entomb, and Leo could hit a good one here. So they're trying to come in. Cocoon immediately burned down as they're starting to disengage. The camp is already taken on the other hand, so little that they are able to do here. Just clear it up quickly and then rotate back down to the bottom of the map to deal with the rest of them. One lone pumpkin is able to move in. Again, there's the fight, and the nano boosted Malthael play as they're getting another kill on Vala. That's 10% of her attack speed bonus now gone. So the blue team is slowly and steadily making plays into the right direction, going for victory here. We have over on the left side the next pumpkin camp taken with the double altar now spawning. There's a chance to at least claim one of them. They're already ahead with 36 to 28 points. If we of course can lock in another kill here and get both, then hey, even better. Malthael gets a freebie. Malthael gets a free channel. That's actually wild. Nobody is interrupting this. And now they can fully focus onto the battle at the bottom of the map. Naki Wien with some issues. They should have tried to stall that out. Veiling Arrow from Sylvanas, maybe a little bit too aggressive. Sleep Dart is there. Leo tries to move in, gets blocked. Sergeant Johnny finishes the channel, and that's now double channel for them. Oh, but here comes Vala. They get a triple kill. 3 down on the red team, and Nakivin says hello and is back to business. Killing Orphea on the way back out as well. So that's another one that they were able to claim. And that's now 4 kills to 4. But obviously it's the core points that are still making a bit of a difference here. Because right now we're looking at 36 to 20. And if they take the bell tower at the bottom of the map, that would really help a lot. So coming in here and trying to get an advantage on bell towers, that would be really the proper play. What they should do, what they're going to try and do here, just to ensure that they are in a position where they have a chance to bring this slowly back. And that's exactly what they're going for. So the bell tower conversion happens. We have now 25,000 damage for Li Ming and for Vala. On the other side, it's Orphea with the top damage with 23,000. The 5 versus 3 bell tower situation and the earlier level 13 talent for the red team give them, of course, a bit of a shot and an opportunity now. But they still need to get those bell towers in the first place. So that's one of the important ones here. Nice! They get another double kill. Damn! Awesome stuff over here. They get the triple kill against the team. Really well done. And all of a sudden, Naki Wien is more or less in full control of this. We can go for the bell tower. They're going to spawn down here at the bottom of the map. Sergeant Johnny has already moved topside in an attempt to make his plays there. But this is starting to look really darn good for Naki Wien. Serena is attempting to retake the bell tower at the bottom. 5 shots will be fired one way or another. It helps them to catch up a bit. They should attempt to hold the control at the bot lane though. That's going to be an important one for them. Nice stacks also for Vala. Again, she died twice, so she lost some of the attack speed, but that was a given considering the team composition that they're using here. Yeah, again, disintegrate. Yeah, it's Malthael that wants the kill, and that doesn't work. But the chase is not successful so far. They are still on Vala. Here comes the light bomb, and what a condemn! And then also the blessed shield from Jojo. Beautiful. Vala still died, but damn, Johanna was doing everything she could to try and tee them up here. So, Ruhm and Ehre is now in a situation where they're starting to retake bell towers and maybe reclaim some of their earlier position in the game. They're still massively ahead on core points at least. But I gotta say, there's some plays that we've seen from the red team that were just perfect. Vala dying, unfortunate. But if they could have turned on Jojo's play, that could have been multiple kills. So Odorox with some really, really cool moves that we're currently seeing on Johanna. But then again, we're having the rotation happening once more over here. So they're trying to get a little bit more done with this, as we already are looking at the next play towards the altars. We have a triple altar coming up once more. Both teams will have a level 16 by the times that they're ready. At least they should. Alright! Quick boss attempt apparently. Yeah, they're trying to go for a super fast boss here, as they're sitting at the top. Which, by the way, is going to give the red team a free altar at the bottom of the map. They can still interrupt Leoric a bit, but I doubt that they're going to be able to take this one. Cocoon already being used here. 4 shots fired. Same from Anduin, who's at the bottom of the map right now. They haven't gone for their own over on the left side, but they're trying to force the one on the right. And this is going to be really difficult considering the team they're going up against. Once again, the jaws are missing, and Malthael, he jumps in deep. Has to be a bit careful here. The nano boost was ready, but he's not able to get himself a kill. Instead, he falls. 27 shots to 16 now. The re-engage from Anubarak, though. They go for Vala, and she dies again. Vala is down. Leorki is about to fall too. They get a double kill and now have the numbers advantage. Vala died 4 times. That means she only has 5% of the attack speed bonus through the Gambit talent still in play. Everything else is already gone, has been removed. Another interrupt on the right side, as we now see the channel from the blue team that puts the opponent down to 12 points on the core. The dive on Li Ming. They're trying to force her back here. Leo is about to respawn. Malthael is back though. He's already on the way. Vala isn't here, so it will still be a numbers advantage for the blue team. But are they really playing this one out? 40,000 damage for Li Ming, 33,000 for Vala. And they still seem to be trying to get this one. I mean, they have the lead. Malthael, he can get the nano boost again. There it is. Ult is used. And they're going deep. And a kill attempt on Vala. And she's dead again. Vala is dead. Leorki is dead. They're pushing for Jojo. But Malthael gets killed in the process. Nice ult attempt as the disintegrate came in. Jojo's going to try and interrupt here. Gets stunned, put to sleep, and gets killed as the shots get fired and drops the red team down into the single digits. Nice. Nicely done. Ruhm and Ehre with some really cool plays here. That fight at the top right was solid. Now, Vala is at 150 stacks. She's doing okay on that, but the damage numbers, the top ones, they go to others. The top 3 are currently made of Li Ming, Malthael, and Ophir. For the blue team, would go a long way to try and take some bell towers too. So far, they haven't claimed any. But they are, of course, now incredibly far ahead on points on the core. Late game is everything here, though. You get late game control, you win a big team fight, as Nakivin has done earlier, and then start to snowball that by just simply gaining control of bell towers, and you can still turn any game around. We've had so many where a team was down to single digits, sometimes even to 1 point against 33 or more, and was still able to win the game. But currently it's all about who is going to win the next few fights. And Vala has, of course, lost a little bit of her sting. Went also seething hatred. I'm just now realizing that we don't have Manticore here. What? Yeah, that is not good. No. I mean, honestly, Manticore, especially when you're going an auto-attack build, is just a must. Again, Malthael with the big damage. They want to go for Vala and take her out. They're also dropping Jojo. That's 1 down, 2 down. And with Sylvanas, they're just staying in the middle and try and take the bell tower. As they honestly should. But, well, the altars are actually coming up. So if they kept this one, they will end the game right here. They go for Li Ming. And she's low. Leo comes in for an interrupt, but it will cost him his life. The first 4 shots are already going to be fired by Sylvanas channeling. And that is game. That's where it ends. Yep, Orphea has channeled 2. And this is it. Game number 1 goes to the blue team as they take the lead in the winner bracket semifinal. We're going to head in game number 2 in a second. Guys, if you enjoy the content, if you like the coverage here, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps to spread the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past and might rejoin the game. So spread the love a little bit, help to promote the games here, like and subscribe, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the series. Game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen, everybody. So, it is party time. This is the moment where Nakivin could drop down into the losers bracket. Was a nice play towards the end there by Rum and Ehre. They were a little bit... I mean, let's face it, they were struggling at the bot lane. After they got completely murdered there and lost also their bell tower, it really seemed like the Finnish team would be able to, you know, snowball this a little bit, but wasn't quite like that. The aggression by the blue team towards the top right twice trying to get that altar really helped them to take control, and eventually they were able to get the kills. That nano boosted Malthael did absolutely wonders for them, so that was huge. Now, quick reminder, all of the heroes can only be played once within the series, which means that every one that you saw on the last map cannot be played again, which obviously is going to have an impact here as well. Maiev, the first one to fall victim to the ban hammer. And, well, here comes the ban on Junkrat. Okay. So, I'm curious if we're going to see any crazy picks for this. If so, it would probably be the Finnish team, the red team, that is going to set any of it up. But I kind of liked what the blue team did on the map. There was a lot of aggression coming from them, so they were really hoping for fights here. And probably noteworthy that they picked the map. So they went for the smaller map here and didn't give the opponent a bigger one. I talked a bit in game number 1 about the fact that they banned out the global. So I really think that they watched the previous series. They saw what kind of strategy Nakivin played there and then decided that they want to take some of those global heroes away to make it more difficult for the red team to play a strategy where they're just focusing on macro over team fights. And now heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen is obviously by default going to force more team fights, which they, I would assume, perceive to be working in their favor. Mephisto gets banned, and Medivh gets banned as well. And Medivh, always being an interesting one, can be very frustrating to play against, but observing a good Medivh to set up portals and just allowing, you know, fights into the backline is always kind of cool. When that portal all of a sudden comes out of nowhere and you have like 4 or 5 heroes just jumping on you. That's kind of nasty. So he gets banned. That's not an option. Junkrat and Mephisto banned out means also that there's some heroes already gone that are perfect interrupts whenever a channel is happening. And we have a Stukov first pick. Okay. Is that where they are following up with Varian for taunt? Or what are we gonna get with this? Stukov first pick for game number 2. Didn't see that one coming. Would make sense with Varian. Would be kind of amusing if the blue team now simply just takes him away. They say like, hey, we can do that too. But they go Kel'Thas and they go Deckard Cain. Kel'Thas eyebrows still the stuff that nightmares are made of. Every single time he gets picked. Love him as a concept, by the way, because having a gravity lapse, having a stun, some CC on a hero like him is pretty cool. So Kel'Thas himself, kind of fun. But, well, here comes the double pick. So are we going to get Varian or not? Is Stukov leading into something, or was it just a preference pick for them? Garrosh and Dehaka. So, kinda, not really. Stukov usually more so a thing when you have a taunt. With Garrosh, obviously, you can still get value out of it. Dehaka can also drag into a lurking arm. I'm not saying that Stukov is bad or anything. He definitely is not. But a first pick priority usually means something. And in this case, it just feels that they want the pick. That they feel more confident with Stukov. But that it doesn't necessarily lead to a combo for them. Greymane gets banned. With the Dehaka, there's also a global that they can try and leverage a little bit. Even on Tomb of the Spider Queen, that makes a difference. When you have your bot laner able to jump to the top lane real quickly. Obviously also for pushes on lanes, just like trying to get rid of a couple of minions every now and then. But that leads us to the final ban for map number 2. Quick reminder, this is a best of 3, so whichever team loses here drops down into the lower bracket, has another shot at the grand final. And the winner will move on. Stitch is banned. A bit of a sad one, but I didn't really expect the Stitches pick here. With Deckard Cain, you have also some decent interrupts. A lot of really cool tools, obviously, for CC on his side as well. The old man hitting people with a stick all day, every day. And oh, here comes Kerrigan. Okay, more CC. Kerrigan is in the house, and we get Blaze, so they're gonna go for a triple front line. Some more stuns coming from Sergeant Hader. Could go Muradin, for example. Jump in, hit that Stormbolt, tee Kerrigan up, and then Blaze follows through on it. But if they have a decent Kerrigan player here, this could get wild. You have a lot of CC that you can chain on target. The question then is always, is Kel'Thas enough for damage? I mean, obviously, Kerrigan has her own damage, you have Blaze and everyone else. But yeah, Kel'Thas has to chip in. Hanzo and Jaina on the other side. Hanzo obviously always great. Tomb of Spider Queen, interrupt, vision. Delivers a lot. But that leaves us with a final pick for map number 2. And they want to be aggressive here. I mean, they're clearly looking for kills right from the get-go. They're going to start jumping in as soon as they are finding any target that they can CC and allow Kel'Thas and others to do the damage. And what's Sergeant Hader going to pick as their frontliner? And it is Arthur's Old School. Arthur's Kerrigan. Damn, am I in the alpha again? What's happening here? Tomb of Spider Queen, everybody. Map number 2. Rum and Ehre going up against Nakivin. The blue team in the lead in this best of 3 series, starting once again on the left with Sergeant Johnny on Blaze. We got Sergeant Hader on Arthur's, Vazimir on Deckard Cain, Kazim is playing Kerrigan, and we get Serena on Kel'Thas. The Fury of the Swarm on level 1 for the Queen of Blades. And on the right side, we got Lazamehu on Stukov. We get Odorox with Garrosh. Jaina gets played by TT. Simba on Dehaka. And then last but not least, the slithery Snack with Hanzo. Yeah, time to party. And time for Nakivin to show what they got to bring this one back. If they have what it takes to force game number 3 here. Lots of CC, obviously. Level 1, we're getting the Frost Presence. Kerrigan gets instantly killed. I mean, the first thing that happens in the game is that Kerrigan is just dead. So definitely not the start that they wanted. Not even close. Like, Kerrigan gets absolutely murdered. And it's an early game kill. It's not really that big of a deal in the bigger scheme of things, but it's obviously a bit of a setback already, just on a confidence level alone. If the game starts with you coming in, trying to be aggressive, being like, alright, let's take him down. And then you get met by Garrosh, find yourself on the wrong side, and are instantly dead. And Garrosh with another little play, but they are putting pressure on Hanzo. They are trying to be aggressive here, and it is not really working all that well. Again, not really a big problem yet. Just saying. All the gems getting collected, obviously, on the lanes now, too. Top side, Arthas gets attacked. And I have to admit that I am still a little bit... Oh, well, that was a nice follow-up. Yeah. Hanzo is able to get out. But I'm still a little bit interested in why exactly Arthas. Arthas is a weird pick to me. I am not saying that he can't make a big difference here. He obviously can slow the opponent down. You have the Howling Blast. But when I'm looking at the possible options of what they had and alternatives, then I'm still thinking Muradin. And unless I'm not completely blacking out on the heroes that were played in game number 1, we didn't have Muradin on the first map, so it was still available. So still a bit wild to not see Muradin, who would have had a better chance of closing the gap with a quick jump and a Stormbolt, and probably also more survivability. Arthur's already running out of mana and has to get some more here. But they nearly got a kill on Garrosh. The problem for them is that nearly doesn't count. Forced him back, and that's all that they were able to do. Turn-in attempts. Red team has delivered some. As it comes up on the map that they can take now as well. With level 4, we have in addition to that also now a Deathlord. Generally speaking, the Death Scroll build is obviously pretty nice. If you can get that extra damage out and that survivability, that's neat. They have a triple front line anyways, so they have a lot of good tools here. We have obviously, in addition to that, now also Netherwen for Kelthas, as per usual agreement. Kerrigan just playing the hobbity-hop here from one to another, but the attempts at getting a proper kill have so far not worked out for them. So Arthas becomes the target and is low and dies. They're trying to get a kill on Hanzo, and that little fucker is just jumping away again. It's like the 3rd time now, I think, that they had him nearly... I mean, they had him basically on the ropes. Were about to take the kill, and then he's just like, "Laters, boys," and jumps away. So good for Hanzo, bad for the blue team. That's now 2 kills to 0. And yeah, makes things a little bit more difficult. Actually, a lot more difficult. More aggression now in the middle. I mean, in addition to everything else, we're now obviously also talking about potential turn-ins and web weavers. Both of the teams are essentially where they can get that turn-in. Not quite yet for the blue team, but again, they're super close. They still want Hanzo. And I don't blame them. I hate him as well. But they somehow are not able to get that kill. So, yeah. Maybe eventually he's going to fall. At this point, they're just going to put a bounty on Hanzo's head. Whoever takes him down is going to get some kind of extra prize. Maybe a beer at the next team meeting or something for free. Doesn't have to pay around. And will just be treated all day. Something has to happen. But right now, we got turn-in attempts again down at the bottom of the map this time. So far, so good, I guess. Red team with the first set of web weavers, so they are able to lock that in. And this is just enhancing the position of the red team a little bit further. So, whew, yeah. I mean, that's where we are right now. Red team with the push. They won game number 3, and they're currently on a good way to get exactly that. Now, let's see if they can do a little bit more with this. Already the little attack over here, yeah, trying again at the bottom of the map to, or in the middle first of all, to push, but the defense is set up properly here. And up at the top lane. I mean, honestly, that defense is pretty solid. They didn't do any damage whatsoever. Down at the bot lane, maybe a little bit, or one of the towers is down, but generally speaking, if you look at how much was done so far, then nothing has been destroyed. Instead, it's now Jaina that is in trouble and gets saved by Garrosh, but it's not like the web weavers have done a whole lot of damage or anything of the sorts. Instead, the blue team was defending this extremely well, have now a chance to get their own turn in and try and do more damage themselves. Level 10 is getting a bit close. Still another flip. And Kerrigan is instantly deleted. I love, by the way, the follow-ups from Stukov. I doubted that first pick a little bit, but I have to admit that the way that Stukov currently just follows up on anything that Garrosh does has been pretty impressive. So they've really practiced this one. I mean, this looks good. This is multiple kills now that they got that were very well set up. Turn-in hasn't happened yet for the blue team. Probably also for the better, to tell you the truth, considering that they are in a situation where we have level 10 available for Naki Neve. The team fights are working perfectly for the red team. And we still have Rum and Ehre without a single kill. So it's still 0 at this point. By the way, Adaptation and Dragon Strike. So 2 ults that you would not necessarily expect here. Specifically talking about Adaptation. So going more for a tanky version of all of this, I suppose. Now we have the Red Web Weavers descending again. But maybe now the kill opportunity. Not enough damage follow-up from the looks of it. So, yeah. Phoenix is in. We get Syndragosa, by the way, with the triple front line. Arthur doesn't feel the need to do anything else with it. So Syndragosa it is. Now, the red team has another set of web weavers. Thanks to the advantage and experience and the lead with level 10, they are turned in once more. The blue team hasn't lost a lot of gems or anything. But can they defend again? This time they go for Garrosh and finally they get their kill. Finally they kill. Big sleeper play from Deckard Cain and nobody there to follow up on it. If I'm Deckard Cain, I'm pissed. I'm like, guys, I have so much trouble waddling forward in a fight anyways. I mean, I'm 100,003 years old and I'm still half the time forgetting where exactly I left my spellbook. But if I land an ult that is just absolutely top-notch, then somebody needs to be there and follow up on it. I mean, you can't waste an opportunity like this. So, poor Deckard Cain. I feel for him. This was a huge opportunity and his team just didn't believe. They just didn't believe. That was the main problem there. They were looking at the old geezer and they were just like, dude, boomer alert. You're not going to be useful anyways. So, forget it. We're not going to be there because it's just pointless. Yeah. So, no trust. 0 trust over here. It's a little bit disappointing, but hey. Potion Boy has been ignored. Blue team has their first turn in. Oh, Jaina is gone. Once again, the Dragon Strike here has some nice value if you can completely zone an opponent out, I guess. But with Jaina getting destroyed, this was already a real nice one. So getting the Jaina kill, that should make this push a little bit more meaningful. We had 2 Web Weaver waves for the red team, and they only dropped 2 of the forts to roughly 50%. So they still haven't taken a single one down. But the blue team has to prove themselves too. The push in the middle is the one that is currently looking the best, and here, I mean, they're going to get some fort damage in, I suppose. Top side is where they're trying to take the wall out too. Maybe even follow that up with a kill. Kerrigan is always looking for another target. That much is sure. 13 versus 13. And they're falling back a little bit faster than I expected them to. So also for them, not too much value out. Oh, damn. Arthur's actually died. Kerrigan wants the gems, gets the gems, and is able to get out. Deckard Cain is securing the retreat, and Ehaka apparently wants to continue the fight. Tunneled in from the bottom where he was pushing for the fort, so I have to let this one go. But he has the next turn in, oh well, not the next turn in, but there is, again, they're safeguarding their gems. Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. I feel like there's a lot where teams with the objective could make some better choices. Talking about better choices, I don't think that the choice to go for the camp here the way that they did was necessarily the best, but a very nice Dragon Strike eliminates Blaze. And I have to just say it, the team in blue is in a lot of these situations just massively unlucky. Let's be honest about this for just a moment. But there is so many times now where Hanzo and Garrosh got away even though they should have been killed 3 times over. It's actually insane. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, as is, we have still advantages on the side of the red team. Blue team is trying to gain any kind of momentum here. But the Haga is now pushing in the middle a little bit. They got Kane still trying to zone. And Nakivin is fully capitalizing on the plays that they're making. Again, they saved Garrosh multiple times, Hanzo multiple times. They got their own kills. It's 5 versus 2 now. Still enough gems for a turn-in for the Rum boys. And they're trying here Stukov is a big pain in their butt, by the way. Stukov has been annoying as hell from their perspective. Gravity Lapse, alright. Syndragosa, Hanzo, and finally he dies. And he might not be the only one. Garrosh with a nice save for Jaina, but that's a double kill. Karrigan finally with a bit of momentum, and then the big slaps that we're seeing from Stukov saving the rest of the team. But that's the double kill that they needed, and they get a turn in. And apparently they want the boss more so than anything else. So, yep, it's a boss play for them. It's a 5 versus 3 on the map. They finished the turn in, and they're trying to go for the double, and they're gonna get it. There's absolutely no... There's no chance of trying to interrupt them at the boss, but there is a chance to push the bot lane as a result, since they know that nobody's here to defend. So they could actually get some damage on the fort, and you know what? With the... Well, they're actually gonna get the entire thing. The minion wave is there, and so that fort is gone. Now, the blue team has a huge opportunity to push at the top, and obviously everybody on the red team side still has to retreat, and they're not even hearthing. They're actually walking. They're mounting back to base, and they're going to be late to the party, I can tell you that much. Mid lane, Sergeant Johnny, he should move towards the top. He's apparently aiming for the bot. I have zero idea why he's going down to the bottom of the map. Top lane is where the party is at, my friend. Like, he's a party pooper. He needs to be top lane. They have a chance to go for the keep here, but not if they're playing a 4 versus 5. So the fort in the middle gets destroyed too. The Haka is now tunneling towards the top, as he should. And top lane, we only have 4 heroes for the blue team. So they're retreating a little bit. Boss is still up. In comes Syndragosa. Blaze isn't here yet. And Karrigan with the Chrysalis. Big ult from Deckard Cain. Oh my god! Huge plays! Huge plays from the blue team. There's a lot in the cards right now. Blaze should have been here so much sooner, but they can maybe even go for the core. There's 2 heroes that are currently down, and the boss is still alive. They try to get the quick 2-0 here. They make the move as we speak, try for additional kills, which they can't get right away, but they will get damage on the core. The only question is how much. Can they finish the entire thing or not? Boss is gone, core is at 70% right now. Jaina down for another 10 seconds. Garrosh is about to fall, and he somehow makes it, but the core is down. Down to 20. That's game. That's game. Rum and Era are able to take down Nakivin with a 2-0 victory and move on to the winner bracket final. GG.